Melissa Range with Rev Up Your Life. Today I'm talking about life is precious. And I'm really realizing that because recently my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And it's quite overwhelming when you have a loved one who is sick and suffering and you didn't know anything about it, and then all of a sudden, your whole family is worried about the outcome of what's happening. And so I really have to focus on staying in the present moment and being very centered in today and in my higher power and the greater plan for life. And so one of the things I wrote up here was take time to connect with others. And I recently saw a TED Talk on Facebook, and it was about being a centurion, or how people live a century or more. And the talk centered around the fact that it's not the things we think about, exercise, eating right, doing all of these things that we think is going to help us live a really long life. Actually, the number one thing that helped people live a long, healthy, happy life was being in connection with other people. And I think a lot of us in today's day and age get so focused on our electronics, and we isolate ourselves and we don't spend quality time with other people. We're busy, we go to work, then we come home, we just eat dinner. We just go through the motions. And I did that myself. I call myself years ago a human doing and not a human being. And by just doing, I felt like, oh, I'm getting things done. I'm busy. I must be being productive. Well, that's not the case. I actually found that over time, I was so exhausted, I probably in the long run would have either gotten an illness myself or died of a heart attack. And I know I was becoming the ugly green monster because I was miserable in my relationship. And on top of that, all I did was run around like a maniac 24/7. I call myself the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker because that's what I was when I was married and had little kids and was in a very tumultuous relationship. And so I encourage you as well to look at your relationships and begin to notice if they're working for you. Because I wrote up here also, know what is important. And I know a lot of us are shifting and changing, and we are being called to look within. And I was called to look within, and there was a lot of fear and a lot of things that I didn't want to look at, but I decided to look at them, and my life today is 1,000 times better because of the decisions that I was guided to make. And they were hard, but I am now a happier, more lovely person because of those tough decisions that I had to make. And so I encourage you, if you're feeling called or guided to do something in a relationship, then you need to look at that and think about what's important. I also put up here, take time for yourself. And I wanted to read you something out of my favorite meditation book, because in here, Anne Morrow Lindbergh makes a nice quotation about quiet time alone, contemplation, prayer, music, a centering line of thought or reading, of study or work. It can be physical or intellectual or artistic, any creative life proceeding from oneself. It need not be an enormous project or a great work, but it should be something of one's own. Arranging a bowl of flowers in the morning can give a sense of quiet in a crowded day. What matters is that one be, for a time, inwardly attentive. So do you spend time with yourself every day? Because getting in touch with the silence of yourself and really beginning to listen to your intuition and your thoughts, pay attention to what's going on within you, because that is the key to what's happening out here. And so again, life is precious. Life goes by way too fast. And I'm realizing that the more I realize that, the more vulnerable I am, the more authentic I am, and the more I want to do what's best for me and for those around me whom I love. And it can be a challenge sometimes, yet again, this is my life journey, and I only got one shot, right? My son likes to sing the Eminem song, you only got one shot, don't miss your chance. And I think that can be more than one shot for things, but if something keeps presenting itself over and over again, maybe you need to look at it, and maybe you need to change or just pay attention to how you're feeling inside. So I am going to be paying a lot of attention to my emotions and feelings over the next several months, and spending a lot of quality time with my mom and doing things with her that maybe I haven't done or thought about before, listening to her and really being present in the moment with my mom, because life is precious. And I'm really glad that I've had my mom to spend so much time with and be with over the years. And so I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have questions or want to reach out, send me an email at revupyourlifewellness@gmail.com, or you can send me a Facebook message. I would love, love, love to connect with you. In person is my favorite way, yet I love the phone too. So I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.